Welcome back for another tutorial with me. Now in this tutorial we're going to go over adding variable text to our format. Now MarkMagic wouldn't be MarkMagic if all we did was static text fields. You need a way to pull your data from your company into your formats. Now with MarkMagic you're going to have two different options here. You can pull data from a spooled file or from a physical or label file. In this tutorial we'll go over mapping data to a spooled file. So what we want to do is, this is going to be a text field. Just click on create a new text field and click on our format where we want that to appear. And the field name you see right now is asterisk heading. That indicates a static text field. However, that will change when we finish here. So what we're going to do is click browse and then click on the spooled file tab if doesn't come up automatically. Now you want to put all the information for your spool file that you're going to be using to grab data from. If you don't know this information readily offhand, as long as you know the user, you can click browse and then you can find the spool file for that user. All the spool files for that user would be listed here. I already have my information in, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So what we're going to pull in on this tutorial is the company name. Now, because I know a little information about the spool file, I know that this field has a maximum length of 30 characters. So just because this one, the no pain, no gain, is not going to be 30 characters long, I know that different records may have a maximum of 30 characters. So we need to make sure that we allot for other records. So what we're going to do is perform a click and hold and then drag to highlight the field. And as you can see, the length go up as I drag. So I want to carry that length all the way out to 30 and then release my click. And once I've done that, I now have a length of 30, and you see the spool line, line 2, spool column 11 is where it pulls from for a length of 30. Once you're satisfied with the mapping of your field, you can just go ahead and click OK. So now that brings that back to create a new text field window. You see this field name is now changed to @spooltext005. This is just a pre-filled name. You can change that to whatever you'd like, or you can leave that as it is. The description also pre-filled with the data that you just brought in. You can just delete that or give it any description you'd like, or you can leave it in if you'd like. Now, as with any text field, you can change the font, and you can also go to the font tab, add any kind of other changes like style, bold, underline. Now here you can see the length also increased to 30 now, and that's exactly what we pulled in, so we know that's correct. If I go to the display tab, we can see spooled line 2 and spooled column 11. So that is also correct. So from looking at this text field screen, if we come to display, we see we are pulling data from line 2 starting at column 11, and then if we click back to properties, we are pulling a length of 30 characters. Once you are satisfied and you know that is correct for your application, you can go ahead and click OK. So now you see we have the @spooltext005 on our format. Now, as you saw from that spool file, there was also a company address below the company name. We want to pull that in as well. Now we know for our spool file that this is also going to have a length of 30 characters. And it's just right below the other field that we just brought in. So we can use JMagic's copy feature to do this really easily. If you click on the SpoolText005 so that you have your red handles around it, and then right click and click copy, then you're going to want to click on your format where you'd like this copy to appear, and we're going to do one copy for this tutorial. Now this horizontal offset and vertical offset is just where it's placing your new field. This pre-fills from where you click the mouse. It is pre-filling in relation to the first text field. So the vertical offset of -0.27 or 27th of an inch means that our next text field will be below this field because it's negative. If it was not negative, it would be above the text field 27th of an inch. We will leave that as it is. Now our spool file column offset, if you recall, the other column was 11 where it started. Now this field is right below that field and also starts on column 11, so we want that to stay the same and not increase. So we'll put 0 for this value. And our spool file line offset will need to increase by 1, as this one will now be on line 3. So because that's correct, we'll go ahead and click OK. Now we see that spool text 006 has been added to our format. So now we have handles on both of them. We'll just click on our format anywhere, get those handles off, and now we want to check and make sure that this one was mapped correctly. So double click on spool text 006 text field. Now we can see the length of 30 characters, and we know that's correct. And we come to display, we can see spool line increased from 2 to 3, and spool column stayed at 11. So this is correct. To see it in a more graphical sense, you can go ahead and click Browse, click OK. Once you put your spool file information in there, but it should already be pre-filled from the last time. And you can see right here, 3 is highlighted as this field is pulling from line 3 and starting at column 11. So everything is correct. So we can go ahead and click cancel out of there and cancel out of here because everything is correct. Thank you very much for joining me in this version of adding variable text to your format.